mentioned 9, everyone's favorite, the 3 I's: impact, innovation, influence. Now here's where we talk about what this album did, right? So let's be honest. The Gangsters and the White Boys are what made this a platinum selling record. The Gangsters had never heard anything like this. I mean, you can argue, yes, Schoolie D was out, but I don't know if the Gangsters of Compton were bumping Schoolie D. Schoolie D, again, is another rapper that was making music to impress his local circumference. Like, oh, this is for the Parkside Gangsters in Philly, right? Ice-T had just came out, so this is a whole group capitalizing on that and making it a wave. And then a part of that is Eazy-E's vision with the whole imagery. The imagery is what's really selling this group. The controversy is what pushes them over, and then everything else falls in line. But you have a group wearing lokes, black hats, which you hear Ren talk about in every damn verse. I wear my hat and jackets, right? That's their Black Panther-esque kind of presence. Now, like, you associate that with them, even though they said this is what the dudes in the hood were wearing. Sort of like what Run DMC did for like the drug dealer chic of their era. They brought it to hip hop. And so that is like, oh, I want to know more about these guys. It's like a uniform. Then the Gangsters are like, okay, this is the soundtrack to how we live. I'll bump this. But if left up to Gangsters, you know, this is just going to be a dub swap meet mixtape that just gets passed around. This ain't really going to sell platinum. It's the white boys that are like, this is counterculture. This is revolutionary. And piss my parents off. Right? I listened to this in my Motley Crue album and F the World.
Get off, Terrell!
Right. So controversy sells. That's the impact for this album. What y'all got to say about the impact? This goes to all the points that y'all were making earlier. Is negative attention good attention? Yes. Is controversy appealing? Yes. But that's all the after effect of everything that's packaged with the album. It's the imagery, it's the cover. Look at the cover. You're looking up at them. I don't know if we saw a rap album cover from that angle, right? Yeah, they're looking down on you while Eazy's pointing the gun at you. So a gun is being pointed to the consumer.
Yeah. I like that.
That was me.
That's great.
In that uniform, right? So again, we haven't seen uniform rappers since Run DMC, because this was the era of individualism. Here they come looking like a tight-knit brotherhood of people that'll scare you and rob and pillage. But yeah, impact, they wind up getting banned from MTV. The FBI sends a letter because of the F the Police song is catching so much wave. We can't deny the impact. The impact is mostly why we're talking.
Everybody started wearing Raiders jackets. Mm-hmm. Remember that? Raiders hats. Actually, they was banning people from schools. Were like, nah, you can't wear Raiders jackets.
Yeah. And this was the start of the more we hear about rappers getting in trouble, the more we're intrigued. It's like almost like The Baby. When The Baby first came out, he's getting locked up left and right, and you're like, who is this cat? Right? Yeah. Kodak Black. That adds to the aura. They're getting, arrested on stage for doing F the Police. And then the innovation. What's innovated on this album?
The controversy, the parental advisory sticker factory was brought to life. In 700,000 jobs for the parental advisory sticker factory. After that, you know what I mean? So that was, man, like that without a doubt, without any,
True. What else is innovative? I mean,
the sound, what they did with the just the whole sound, their image.
That wasn't innovative.
That wasn't innovative. That was innovative. Well, the content, the language.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Because I was like, you're contradicting yourself.
Oh no.
Okay.
No, well, maybe the mixing, from a sonic aspect.
Yeah, I have read this is one of the most well mixed albums of the 80s.
It definitely is. I mean, when you listen to it today, it's like, damn, Well, then again, you don't know if you're listening to like a remastered version, right? But I mean, no, these dudes were cursing like, yeah, rappers really weren't cursing like that, were they? Not.
No,
they weren't. Nah, they weren't. Everything was kind of PG-13. I mean, you had one or two acts that were like really trying to.
Like Rick.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, this is right when rappers would slip a few per album. It was a big deal. Like MC Lyte, of course, was cursing. Big Daddy Kane, but
the pussy started talking.
But not like this though. This was like intentional.
Like
I'm gonna piss you off. You know, your parents aren't gonna allow 8-year-old Clarence, old head Spoon, to listen to this stuff.
Yeah, this is Sam Kinison. Like this is. At the end of Parental Discretion Advised, we get where Juicy J, which I guess Megan Thee Stallion took from Juicy J, which took from me to shut the fuck up, right? And this, of course, put Compton on the map in mainstream and the hip hop world and to other coasts, because I don't think people outside of California knew much about the city of Compton before this, which takes us into influence. The influence, the legacy of this album.
Set the tone for what was to come.
Yeah.
Everybody had to follow that formula, or try to. Some try to. You know, not everyone. Not that was everyone's lane, but like if you can get into that lane, it was safe for a little bit. You know, and it influenced. Yeah, it broke down barriers, influenced so many after them. Look what that somebody did the family tree, man, of Ruthless Records from NWA all the way down to like somebody that's not even popping like that, who's like, you know.
I know where you're going.
You know what I mean?
Like if we follow the Easy tree, we go through the Bone, right?
Exactly.
If we follow the Dre tree, it's 50, it's M, and all of their artists.
Crazy.
Right? And then so on and so forth. It's the game changer. It's, you know, we've all kind of seen that article circulate that talked about the secret meeting in hip hop that happened and all of that. Y'all seen that. Counterculture. We can't deny how important the white buying audience has been to hip hop's growth. And this is the golden era, which is about to take us into the 90s, where the companies latch on and realize, oh, this is a marketing way, which is part of why Ice Cube left, because Jerry Heller was a precursor to that. Like, oh, I can make money off of this. And for better or worse, this changed hip hop. My personal opinion, this ruined hip hop. This album right here ruined hip hop, because as much as time passes and we allow time to do a lot of things, that's part of why this channel exists, right? A lot of albums we call classics just because of time. It's like, no, it's not really classic. Just like I heard Mob James say, a lot of dudes ain't OGs, they just live long enough to get old. And so when you look at it, you hear a lot of people say, oh, they're the CNN of the streets with their music. I'm like, they had about 2 songs on here where they were telling you how things are going, but it was through the lens of hyperbolic, violent ass glorification. They weren't like, here's what you should do to be warned. This is not Ice Cube when he got woke and joined the Nation of Islam. This is Ice Cube to about, Ren said, let's start some shit. Suddenly I see some niggas that I don't like. It's like, they're saying crazy shit like, oh, let's run a train on this shit. Like, there's no social consciousness here. You can interpret that they are voicing the streets and letting you, but that's a lot of Michael Eric Dyson level interpretation, right? What they did is raise controversy for their own gain and use it as a vehicle to get out the hood while leaving behind a new door open for people to just be just as reckless as them. Yeah. And they started the whole, you gotta live what you say, even though none of these guys, except for Easy, live that life.
Term studio gangster was coined around that era. Right?
Yeah.
CB4.
CB4. It changed hip hop to a you gotta do what you say you're doing. Before that, you could be Bismarcky on a yacht talking about I got supermodels and people just jam to it. Now you got to be what you look like, and it forever changed hip hop, and it hurt black culture a lot because the violence escalated. Our music now became gangster rap was at the forefront now. It wasn't just a category of rap. It's now and forever been the first form of rap, and everything else is secondary.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's either way you slice it, it's impactful, innovative, and influential, but for better or for worse. So that's just my 2 cents because I'm like,
that's a great breakdown and a great perspective. It's true.
Without a doubt. I would slightly disagree. For the you're saying that it ruined it. I agree with all your points, but it's hard for me to say that it sort of ruined it. You know what I mean?
That's a hot take. That's
a path and a trajectory that it put us on a trajectory that you named 6 or 7 times here in this interview the golden era. You know what I mean? It led to that 90s renaissance or what have you, and that keeping it real era and all that. You know what I mean? So and this stuff that we enjoyed. I don't think anything quite negative came from Straight Outta Compton. You know what I mean?
What? No. Let me tell you, me personally, I was very in school, I was all studious. I was very studious. When this music came out and other people were playing it on the block, I'm not even playing. A lot of the attitudes of kids my age changed, including me. I wasn't cursing at my teacher. I wasn't talking back at my teachers until
I never that. The hood dude. I ain't never do that. I listen to this. You know what I mean? You gotta, hey, look, man, come on now. It didn't change nobody.
It changed a lot of us, man.
Listen.
You have to appreciate the art, no matter how controversial, no matter how different.
In a perfect world, Bert, in a perfect world, yes. We don't live in a perfect world, man. We're influenced by all sorts of stuff around here.
Perfect.
I'm like Nori. This now I remember what I was gonna say. Nori will tell you in almost every damn Drink Champs episode, he was afraid because when he was younger, he thought NWA was a gang. He thought they were really doing what they were doing in the videos, and he was afraid of them. And he was like, anytime somebody said they were going to Cali, he's like, watch out for NWA. And those are the kind of perceptions as a kid you can't really articulate and put it all together. But I do think there's a certain class of black people, especially college educated black people, who live kind of the same way that those suburban white kids who made this group popular do. And we have the luxury of being entertained by Bobby Shmurdas and Kodak Blacks and Pooh Shiesties because it's so far removed from the life we live. Mm-hmm. And we can easily say, oh, it's entertainment. But the low socioeconomic class of us who live by those words, who are throwing up gang signs on their Twitter and reciting rap lyrics for their quote of the day, this is real for them. And so as artistic as Ice Cube was for being able to embody that, I'm mad at Ice Cube because he's, again, these are kids. And that's the other thing about rap. Rap is probably one of the only genres where we live by the words of people that we wouldn't listen to in real life. You don't listen to 17-year-olds and quote them as you're like.
If you're an Instagram model, you do.
Right. And so some of that has to be taken into account. I had the same point when I reviewed the Ghetto Boys debut, Grip It, on that other level. They were Texas NWA. They were going out their way to do shock value rap and talk about choking women and crazy stuff like that because this is a new wave. It's like, oh, shock rap.
And then if you're gonna have irresponsible parents, playing this type of music or, siblings, whatever, around, your 8, 9, 10-year-olds at the time who were in those environments, they are gonna get influenced by those words. It's just
sorry, but y'all sound like some Mark-ass
yo, Bert,
Mark-ass busters.